Now, I know some of y'all might call me crazy for saying this, but I'm going to need y'all to bear with me for a second. Victor Wembanyama is one of the greatest players of all time. Now, hold on. Before you jump the gun, click off the video, and call me crazy, or you don't know what you're talking about, I need y'all to chill. You know what I'm saying? Take away all the accolades from every player in NBA history. Just take them away. All the rings and the trophies and all that. Take it away. And if you just go player for player and watch game film on each player in NBA history, you would think that Victor Wembanyama is one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Given that he's 7'5" and able to, you know what I'm saying, dunk without, jumping, able to block shots without jumping, you know what I'm saying, being able to hit pretty much any shot on the basketball court just because nobody can contest it. You know what I'm saying? Even if you do try to get physical with him, he's still not gonna complain. He ain't gonna, complain for fouls, raising his hand. No, he ain't gonna do none of that. He's gonna get right back up and continue doing what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? It's rare that you really see it. I know it's early in his career, but it's been rare that you have seen him, rattle. You know what I'm saying? Looking out of character. You know what I'm saying? Usually, even if they do try to get physical with him, like for instance, the Detroit Pistons game, for example. Even though, you know what I'm saying, you look at the box score and he had a bad game and, it seems like they did a pretty good job, which they did do a pretty good job, but the man still had 30. You know what I'm saying? The man still, was doing what he was doing. He still impacted the game defensively, had 6 blocks. You know what I'm saying? And I think 2-3 of those was him not even jumping, which is unreal. To block a shot and not even jump is wild to me. You know what I'm saying? But just even outside of that, if you just watch game film, like I said, the stuff that he does is like alien. It's like an alien. You know what I'm saying? Doing windmills at 7'5", 2-hand windmills. You know what I'm saying? For all the hoopers out there, I know y'all know how hard a 2-hand windmill is to do. You know what I'm saying? Especially off of vert. You know what I'm saying? Being at 7'5". So the fact that he has that much flexibility at being 7'5" is insane. Because he's not the first person to be this big and play basketball, for example. You know what I'm saying? We in the past, the NBA's had Boban Marjanovic. You know what I'm saying? And so he's not Manute Bol to you know what I'm saying? So he's not the first person to be this tall and whatnot. But one thing I will say is he's the first person to be that big and still move as agile as he is. To still be able to move like a guard, move better than some guards. You know what I'm saying? Or move better than people that's shorter than him. It's definitely insane. You know what I'm saying? Just really taking in what he's doing. I think a lot of people are not taking or are taking for granted what he's doing on the basketball court. Like, we really might never see this again. You know what I'm saying? Given that it ain't too many people on earth that's 7'5" that can move like that on the basketball court. Because usually they end up having knee injuries, knee problems. You know what I'm saying? And that was my biggest thing with him coming into the league. I had a couple things, but one of the main things was injuries. Would he be able to stay healthy? You know what I'm saying? As far as knee issues and back issues. Because usually big mans, when they come into the league, especially when they 7 foot and above, their main issue is not, they can't play basketball. It's the injuries. You know what I'm saying? The injuries start to pile up. For Joel Embiid, for example. You know what I'm saying? He's won MVPs. He's been one of the leading scorers before. He's doing very well. You know what I'm saying? For his career. You know what I'm saying? But he has had a lot of knee issues. You know what I'm saying? Lower back issues, ankle issues. He's had a lot of problems, and that's like a common theme between, big man in the league. And I thought that was what was gonna happen with him. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that, oh, I wished it on him. No. Given history, I thought, that was gonna be a major issue. But given that he's flexible as he is, and he's really hasn't had, he's had major injury, but it hasn't been, career ending, or it hasn't been, torn meniscus and, stuff that comes along with being, big, basically. He hasn't had those type of issues. But, what I'm saying, just given, I just don't understand that, like how he's able to move like that. And, when he was coming into the league, like I said, the injuries was a major thing, but also another major thing where he was coming into the league, I was saying that he wasn't going to be able to just run around like he was doing, overseas when he was playing in France. You know what I'm saying? That was also another major thing. Him being able to dribble between the legs and cross and come off a one-legged fadeaway from half court. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, when he was becoming a prospect, I was one of the main ones that was saying that he's not going to be able to do this. You know what I'm saying? Given that these are NBA players and they've dealt with people this height before. You know what I'm saying? Or, you're dealing with players, the best players in the world, basically. But I was sadly mistaken, or I was definitely mistaken, because he's doing the exact same thing, if not better, than what he was doing overseas. You know what I'm saying? I thought his main ceiling was going to be him as a shot blocker, which he is definitely a shot blocker. You know what I'm saying? Mainly due to his height, was the reason why I said that. But he still is a elite shot blocker. But he's doing everything else also. You know what I'm saying? Being able to dribble, being able to come off the dribble, hit any shot. Like I said, he's basically a 7'5" KD. You know what I'm saying? And what KD is doing is alien-like. You know what I'm saying? Being a tall, lanky hooper that's able to move like a guard, and there's only so many people in the NBA that can contest his shot. There's only so many people in the NBA that can guard KD. You know what I'm saying? And here you come, Victor Wembanyama, 7'5", moving just like him. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. And I don't know what's going on with these, overseas hoopers. But I don't know what they feed in them. But, it's looking like in the next 20, 25 years, it's going to get scary. Because it seems like Victor Wembanyama came out of nowhere. 10 years, usually if somebody's like that and he's coming into the league like this, usually 10 years ago, where he was in middle school, you would hear about it. You know what I'm saying? Or like, he's the type of player that you used to hear about 10 years ago, and 10 years later, now he's in the league. No, it's 10 years ago, we didn't know nothing about this man. Had no idea who he was. It seems like he just came out of nowhere, taking the league by storm. You know what I'm saying? In MVP conversations in his third or fourth season, which is unreal. You know what I'm saying? That's LeBron work, Jordan, Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like being MVP, Magic Johnson, like being in MVP discussions in your third or fourth season. This ain't stuff that you hear about a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think we're definitely taking, him for granted. I know a lot of people saying, oh, the NBA's falling off, this and that. I don't want to hear none of that talk. We have a 7'5" alien in the league right now that nobody's really talking about. Well, people are talking about it, but we need to be discussing him in all-time greats potential. Like him having the potential to be the greatest player ever. You know what I'm saying? If he continues on this trajectory. Because every season he's gotten better. He's learned how to deal with the physicality. And once he start, putting on some muscle and some weight, it's going to be over with for the league. I'm telling you, it's going to be over with for the league. Just like how Giannis is. You know what I'm saying? Giannis came into the league lanky and, basically another version of KD, which is crazy because KD, he's basically the epitome of just tall, lanky hoopers. You know what I'm saying? We had Giannis, for example. Now we got Wembanyama. They just evolving. You know what I'm saying? Went from KD to Giannis to Wembanyama. You know what I'm saying? People's Brandon Ingram. You know, another version of that. But yeah, we might have another Giannis situation where if he put on some muscle and really start, you know, banging in the paint, you know, he can easily become the best player of all time. You heard it here first. If he continues on this trajectory and hopefully doesn't get injured, you know what I'm saying, he can easily reach that top 5, top 3 discussion. Same kind of similar to what Jokic is right now. Where it's like you don't really mention him in the top 3, top 5, but you know what I'm saying, he's starting to creep up there. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this video. Appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Do those 3 things for me. Do those 3 things for me. Do those 3 things for me. Did you do them? You did it? All right, cool. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. I appreciate you.